If you're new, my name's Cassandra. Tomorrow is once a month grocery shopping day. I grocery shop once a month at the beginning of every month for my family of 7, and today being the day before that means it's preparation day. I don't always have to go this in depth for a preparation day, but I figured I would pick up the camera and bring you guys along to show you what I do ahead of time for once a month grocery shopping to make it easy and functional for my family. The first thing I do is clean out my fridge. So that's actually what I did right away this morning. I cleaned it out, took everything out. I also checked all of my dairy products that are in here for expiration dates. That way, if I have leftover sour cream in here, some leftover cottage cheese ricotta. I checked all that stuff, checked the dates, because just because I have it in here now doesn't mean that it's gonna be good at the end of the month. So I will still purchase an extra one for the second half of the month. The other thing that I'm doing is preserving all of the leftover little things. Excuse my stove. I didn't wipe it off after cooking breakfast this morning because I knew I was gonna make a mess in the kitchen anyways. I'll clean it up when we're done. But I have a whole bag here of bell peppers. I want to preserve a good portion of those. I'll keep some in the fridge for fresh eating, but I'm gonna chop those up, get those in the freezer. I also have some broccoli here, and I'm gonna get these cleaned. We're gonna do these for dinner tonight, get these out of the fridge. But the first thing I need to work on is my neighbor brought me over a handful of white peaches. They're absolutely beautiful from her tree. The kids have had their fill of them. They're starting to get soft, so I want to get those in the freezer. And then my husband went to Sam's Club recently and got a big bag of nectarines for the kids to try, and my kids do not like them. I don't like nectarines either, so no one's eating them right now. So we're gonna get those chopped up, put in the freezer. I will either make a jam out of them. My kids will always eat anything if it's in a jam, or we'll throw them in smoothies throughout the winter or something like that. So they will still be used, they're just not going to be eaten plain. So today is cleaning out the fridge, checking expiration dates, and getting things in the freezer if they need to. Plus, we're going to check my pantry. I just cleaned that out, so it shouldn't be that bad, but we're going to give it an eyeball, just check things. And then we're gonna go down to food storage and check that out too to make sure that everything is good to go, that I'm not forgetting anything, any like random ingredients that I don't need all of the time. Maybe I need to restock some baking supplies or something. So first off, let's get these white peaches taken care of and then move on to the nectarines. And then we will reset our cutting board and do peppers and broccoli. So let's go ahead and get going.
The reason that a day like this is so important is because it prevents so much food waste. Grocery shopping once a month, you need to have a lot of storage, and we have a lot of freezers and we have made a lot of pantry space. But the one thing we don't have a lot of is fridge space. This is the only fridge we have. We had a quote unquote garage fridge, which is very common here in the Midwest. And it totally died on us during the power outage. We think when the power went out, it kind of like short circuited the refrigerator and it never worked after that. So we had to get rid of it, obviously, and we have yet to replace it. So making sure that at the end of the month, I am doing a good fridge clean out, scrubbing it out, checking expiration dates on condiments and dairy products, things that usually will last us a good amount of time in the fridge, but also taking time to get rid of all of this extra produce that we have, like these nectarines and the peaches and things. Just simply slicing these up and getting them in the freezer so that we can use them for later dates. That way they're not going to waste. These are still really pristine pieces of fruit, so they're going to work really well in smoothies, thrown in oatmeals, or maybe I'll make a jam out of them. Like, I will always find something to throw these items in. So just taking time to pull them out of the fridge, cut them up, get them in a freezer Ziploc bag and get them in the freezer, saves my family a ton of money. And I mean, isn't that the thing that we're all looking for here, especially with grocery prices being as high as they are, is to use up everything. Even if we got something like these nectarines and the kids didn't end up liking them, well, they're not going to notice if I throw, a handful of nectarines in smoothies and things like that. They're going to have no idea. Like I said, I can always make these into a jam or something. So we are going to just cut them up, get them in the freezer, and figure it out later.
All right, peaches are here. Nectarines are here. Perfect. I'll try to find a jam recipe for these, or like I said, we'll just throw these in smoothies throughout the winter. Kids will love them that way, or in oatmeal or something. So let's move on.
When we went to Sam's Club, we also got 2 big packages of strawberries that the kids obviously devoured, but there were a couple strawberries in there that were just really soft. They weren't great for fresh eating, but they will be great to just peel those greens off, get them in the freezer, and once I have a big stockpile of mixed berries, whether that be like old blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, whatever it is, I can throw all of those mismatched berries into a pot, cook them down, and make a mixed berry jam, which is our family favorite, is a mixed berry jam. So I am just going to do exactly that. Take the green tops off, throw these whole strawberries into this freezer Ziploc bag, and we are going to get them in the freezer. For the rest of my strawberries, I take the tops and all the little pieces that the kids will cut off, and I put those in the strawberry containers into the freezer. We will use those to make strawberry top syrup throughout the winter. The kids really like that in popsicles in the summertime. We have learned that we don't really like the strawberry syrup in lemonades, but the kids really like it in strawberry lemonade popsicles. So we're still using it. The kids really like it, just not in the way we originally thought we were going to enjoy it, which is totally fine. That's why it's kind of fun. Here is my strawberry top container here. We're going to take this. These are the pieces of the strawberries that the kids did eat. And we're just going to put the whole thing right in the freezer. And once again, put it in the freezer, hit the pause button on it, and deal with it later. It doesn't look like I have a lot of strawberries here. And in reality, I definitely do not. But when I put all of those like mixed berry pieces into a pot to cook down, I will definitely be able to get at least a decent sized batch of jam out of it. So once again, reducing food waste and all of those things and using things up.
These have been in my fridge for a minute, so there might be some bad spots on these or something like that. We'll just cut these off and the chickens will get them. But I'll leave a couple. I'm gonna pick through these, the ones that look the absolute best. I might put back in the fridge because I can see these are starting to. No, actually, I don't think any of these look really pristine enough to go back in the fridge, so I think we're just gonna preserve all of these. And I'm just going to cut them up here. I'm probably gonna dice them. That's how we use most of our peppers. And then I'm going to use this today. I always forget that I have it. So today is the day for it. I've got my chicken scraps bucket here. The chickens are going to have a field day with all of the scraps. They always do at this point. Perfect. And then we will put these in a ton of different things throughout the winter. Soups, stews, casseroles, pizzas, all the things. Pasties, kind of whatever. But it works really good this way.
Once all of our peppers are chopped up, we're throwing them into a freezer gallon Ziploc bag. I am not going to flash freeze these so they don't all stick together. That being said, these are going to be one huge green pepper clump in this freezer bag, which is okay. I did it this way because I have a handful of like freezer meals I want to do in the upcoming weeks where I'm going to need a good amount of peppers. So instead of pulling out a ton of my prepackaged one meal sized peppers, I figured I would just dump them all into this bag, pull out this whole bag when I'm doing those freezer meals, and I'll have all of my peppers thawed and in one bag. It'll be easier for me to find in the freezer is essentially what it comes down to. So that is why I did it that way. I love this little chopper thing. It works so well and I really, really like it. So moving on into broccoli, I wanted to use some of this for dinner tonight, and the rest of it I just wanted to get cleaned up and put in the refrigerator, chopped up, washed, rinsed, soaked, all of the things. That way my 2-year-old who loves to eat fresh broccoli can just go into the fridge and pull out broccoli as she sees fit to snack on. And then the rest of it will also be cleaned and ready to go for future dinners. I don't want to preserve this in any other way. I want to use it fresh. We are coming to the end of garden season here in Zone 4B, and I want to use up whatever's fresh while it's fresh. So there is that. No blanching, no flash freezing involved in this. Just getting it stripped off, put into a big bowl here, and we are going to soak it in cold water and salt. The salt is going to help pull out any of those cabbage worms that live in the broccoli or any type of bugs that are in it. They don't like the salt. They're going to try to get away from it. They will come out of the broccolis and basically start to either climb up the side of your bowl or float on the top, and you can easily pick them out and then rinse out your broccoli. So you're not getting any little extra added protein in your meals, if you catch my drift. So that is how I do my broccoli. And then once I'm done letting it soak in the salt water, I will just rinse it off pretty decently with fresh, clean water, and then put it back in a bowl and put it in the fridge.
So I have our broccoli soaking. I will cook this up as a side for dinner tonight for the kids, and the rest of it I'll actually put in a Ziploc bag, keep it fresh. My toddler loves broccoli like this, so I'll only cook up what we need for dinner tonight. Other than that, we have our peppers in the freezer, peaches in the freezer, and nectarines in the freezer for later use, which is great. So all of my inside kitchen things are done, and my pantry is already pretty cleared out. So I don't really need to do much in here, but normally I would come in here, clean this out if I hadn't already, pulled out any empty boxes and things, but I did that a couple of days ago. Just do a little bit of a restock here if there's anything I'm needing more of for next month, but this is looking really good, so I don't really think I need a ton up here. And I already went down into food storage the other day as well and made a list on my phone of some winter items that I'm going to be stocking up on over the next couple of months heading into winter, things I want to have on the shelf. So I have my kind of like pantry staple lists already on my phone and ready to go. So this is pretty much the end of prepping for once a month grocery shopping. At some point today, I will hop online and put in my Walmart order. That way I have the total for how much my Walmart order is going to be. I'll just put everything in the cart. I won't actually order it until after I walk through Aldi. That way, if there's stuff at Aldi that I'm planning on getting but can't, I can add it to that Walmart order. Or if there are things I normally get at Walmart but I'm gonna get at Aldi, I can take it out of my Walmart cart. I have time to adjust it. So that being said, we are fully prepped and ready for once a month grocery shopping for tomorrow. So I hope wherever you guys are, you're having a fantastic day. I hope you guys are checking things off of your winter to-do list. As always, I hope you guys are making most out of your produce here, and I'll catch you guys in another one.